when I told him, when you watch it, I said, you got to watch it with everybody that loves you genuinely, and we all got to be together so we can laugh, hug, cry. It's going to be a lot of crying, a lot of hugging, a lot of embracing. Everybody will have to embrace this because he will see his life from, he'll see his life. This is his life. You know what I mean? How you doing?
Doing very well. Good to talk to you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
So congratulations on this. Like, I'm sure, obviously, this is just an insane amount of time that you guys spent doing this, thinking about this.
Oh, man.
But
long time coming.
Long time coming, but why so long is like the most obvious question. I just got to follow my own curiosity. Like, if you guys stepped away from Kanye in 2007, right? After his mother passed away.
Yep.
Why didn't you make the film then? Like, what made you think that, there might be something left to tell down the line?
Well, we always say everything happens in God's time. 2006, right before Mama West made a transition, we were going to do the documentary then, 2005, 6, and Kanye wasn't ready for the world to see that. He was becoming this huge superstar, and he wanted to have his fans see him in that light. So, and then in 2014, when Common brought us back together with the Odd Fest in Chicago, his festival, and Kanye was the headliner, he actually flew me and Chike out after that to Calabasas, which we don't go into in the doc, because we got to move the story forward. But, he flew us out there, and he said to both of us that he wanted us to be his voice. He said he'd get misunderstood a lot, and he wanted us to be his voice. And, we're not speakers, we visual, we do things visually. So we put together Jeen-Yuhs then, and, went to networks with at the time, and, but his team had other plans for him. And to me, it felt like at that time he was calling out for help. It's like certain things happened, and then just so happened the St. Pablo tour. And I remember him on stage, and when he walked off that stage, the same feeling that I got when I heard that he had the car accident before Through the Wire is the same feeling I got as when he walked off that stage. And I didn't even know, because a lot of times when he would go off in the past, I'm thinking like, oh, that's part of the show. That's what they doing, just, he got something coming out. I didn't know. And this time it's just like feeling like, oh, and then to find out he went to the hospital. I'm like, hold on. So I just did everything in my power to get in touch with him. It's just like, I don't get it when nobody would just let me get to him, and I know we are separated for so long, and I know we still wasn't on the best, like day to day after we reconnected with Common, but it wouldn't happen. And then God was like, I got you. He had Kanye call Old School Ice Gree that was there at the beginning, and Ice Gree, was with him day to day. And then when Kanye got better, just so happened I'm in LA, and I'm like, I invited Ice Gree to go to the BET Awards with me because Chike couldn't come that year after we did Muhammad Ali, a People's Champ for BET. So I'm like, call Kanye and tell him to come with us. And he like, no, he called him, and then Kanye was like, no, I don't want to be in the public eye. But he was like, meet me afterwards. And just so happened afterwards, we didn't go to the BET after party. We went to go meet Kanye, and that incident happened for TMZ. And that's the first time they said they seen him happy, and it was a whole big deal with that, And then after that, he had me come to Calabasas, and we had a great conversation. I'm telling him about everything that I've been learning with meditation and Deepak and Oprah and all of these messages and living in the now. We're talking about Christ. And when we're talking, it's like people would just come like, Kanye, I need you to do this. Kanye, come in, and just take them. I'm like, wait a minute. So then when he invited me to go to China, I was like, I have to come in disguise. So I went and bought a camera because I went back out there just to be with him again. I'm like, I gotta get a camera. So I bought the camera and went to China with him and filmed, because I felt like we had the doc when he won the Grammys. That was my documentary done, me and Chike's, it was done. So when I went, I'm like, with him, and I didn't, like I say, I didn't. For after all those years, I didn't really know him. I just knew what everybody like. I knew him like y'all knew him as Yeezy or whatever. And when we were together, it was the same person to the point where I forgot he was a huge megastar until we like leave out the store and then like 100 people outside with cameras. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Who am I with? Oh, this ain't Kanye, this Yeezy. I don't know. But he was the same exact person that he was at his crib on 95th and on the South Side with cornrows, So.
No, absolutely. I mean, what were the conversations like with Kanye once you're like, okay, so obviously you have this responsibility, both of you have this responsibility to Kanye, he's trusted you, but at the same time, you're filmmakers, you got to make your film. So
yeah.
What was the push and pull like? What were the disagreements that you had with Kanye once you finally are like, okay, we're going to make this and we're going to make our movie?
Right. It was never a disagreement. When I went to meet with him, he called me and asked for a blessing to use some footage of his mom when he's working on the album. He said, I'm working on this album for my mom. I want to use this footage. I'm like, sure. But I said, I want to show you what we're working on. And I went to DR with the sizzle because I understood, if you do this things the same, it's insanity if you do the same things the same way and expect a different result. So I'm like, I'm going to go and we're going to make this movie. We're going to raise the money we got with Time Studio. We got what I got, Nick Trans. He put together a whole investment team, the guys that known, and this guy, Peter Spann, the CEO of Known, Curran and Ross. And we started making the movie. I'm like, we just got to do it. And I'm going to show him. So when he called for that, just so happened we had a rough cut of the sizzle. The day before we had the rough cut. And I flew to DR with the rough cut to show him, like, I need your blessing too. And it was a great exchange with us. And that story is, you only got 15 minutes, so I can't even go into the whole how God was moving us in that story. But I told him he had to trust me. I said, you have to trust me on this. And he did. But when he put out that tweet, of course we were shocked and a bit disappointed, but, it wouldn't be, this movie wouldn't be so anticipated if it wasn't for things like that Kanye do. You know what I mean? So, and then when I seen it, I'm like, oh, and that little bit of worry went from, I just said, trust God, period. And that's all I say. When anything happens, I say, trust God, period. And God be like, I got you every time.
Absolutely. That's part of, I've been trying to articulate to friends over the years, what makes Kanye different. And part of it is just, you do feel like you sitting next to him and me, the audience, you feel connected to his soul. His soul is always out there. You see the ugliest parts of it. You see the most beautiful parts of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that for you must have been just really, really powerful. And do you feel like that soul has changed over the years? Like, do you feel like there is an old Kanye to miss?
I believe the soul definitely. Words are powerful, and I think when he said, "I told God I'll be back in a second," man, it's so hard not to act reckless when it was Jesus Christ that actually catapulted his career. You lose a little bit, but your soul you never lose your soul. You just gotta recognize it again. You gotta be, oh wait, I do got this. So it was a time where like I said, I wasn't around, but what I seen was felt, a little funny to me. But when I got with him, I seen that same soul. I seen that soul and I'm like, oh, he got his soul. He good. He good. God got him, so.
How much did you leave on the cutting room floor? Obviously you have to tell this narrative, right? So what were the hardest moments to take out?
Man,
so many, but go ahead, Chike.
Yeah, it was a lot of, it wasn't as daunting. Like it would have been that daunting years before. Like if we embarked on this, like you said, at the time when we thought we were supposed to do it, everything happens for a reason, right? We become students of film even more. We've been reading a lot about screenplay writing our own screenplay. So our education when it comes to stories evolved over the past couple of years. So we took that knowledge into this. And it really helped us because now that footage didn't seem so daunting. And it was easy for us once we identified sort of like what our protagonist's journey was and what their overarching desires were going to be. It helped us navigate this footage because anything that didn't align with that, we knew we had to cut it no matter how much we loved it.
Yeah, and we had, like Chike said, it's a rehearsal. Everything we did up until this point was a rehearsal. From Through the Wire, the first video that we connected, me and Chike, to like Benji, working with these great producers, Ted Schillinger and Amani Martin, who really taught us story and really how to like, don't care about losing our darlings, you know, and then up until like doing A Kid from Coney Island with Marjorie Clark and Nina Bon Jovi and Forrest Whitaker, who was like, yo, go get these books if you want to go into doing movies, you know. So it was like everything was a rehearsal. And then from Kid from Coney Island, even the team that came together with Jay Ivy writing and Max and Jason editing, and the live footage and Chance doing the score, we all been working together up until now. That's it seemed like okay, I'm gonna put all y'all together for all these other projects. Y'all gonna get to know each other. Y'all gonna create a great chemistry, and then we're gonna bring y'all to this project that he knew that I had on my mind since 2000. You know, so it just all came together. It took all that mastermind alliance. You know, from me meeting Chike to everything that happened, and then you know. Now we know that, okay, we can show people how to unlock their genius and move in faith, and they're going to get to their destination.
And it took all that to make this project. Like, it took everybody working in their genius. It took all those hands on us to sort of guide us, you know, to get to this point, to make this with this team. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's not remiss on us. Like, it's very important for everybody. We're in front of you, just Coodie and I, the directors, but it's a whole lot of hands in this, and coordinating everybody from Time and Known, and a lot of people that believed in us and allowed us to tell this story the way we wanted to tell it.
Has Kanye seen it yet?
No, he hasn't seen it. I was just with him in California, and just how God put that together. I wasn't supposed to see him, and I just so happened, like, I'm gonna go to California because I got Jay Ivy got nominated for a Grammy, and we had hotel rooms because we're gonna celebrate with him, and then they moved the Grammys. So I'm like, and I was gonna wait till when they did the Grammys again, but they said the Grammys are gonna be in Las Vegas. So I'm like, oh man, well, I might as well go. And that was last week. And just so happened when I went to the hotel, Kanye and Future working on Donda 2, and they rented out the whole hotel. And if I would have canceled my room, I wouldn't even had my room. So you know that was Donda and our ancestors bringing it together in God. And then I run into him. And I asked him, did he see the movie? I said, did you watch the films? And he said, that's not his process. You know, he said he have eyes, which we show a lot of his eyes before that he asked us to do. And when he said that, I'm like, okay. And then he said, you know, I didn't even watch my Drink Champs. And I'm like, okay. You know, so, you know, you know, but I don't know at this moment, has he watched it? But when I told him, when you watch it, I said, you got to watch it with everybody that loved you genuinely, and we all got to be together so we can laugh, hug, cry. It's going to be a lot of crying, a lot of hugging, a lot of embracing. Everybody will have to embrace this because he will see his life he'll see his life. This is his life. You know what I mean? And you know, that's it. Powerful.
Absolutely. All right. It's great talking to you both. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate you, man.
There's moments here that I think are going to stick around for a long, long time. So thank you for contributing.
Oh, man, for sure.
Thank you, man.
That's for all your work, guys.
Thank you.